the cryptos during the day today, and then also go through some of the ETFs. Very interesting day today. So Bitcoin is doing exactly as we expect. It's still on a buy signal. It's now breaking to that measured move area. The linear regression is starting to flatten out, and my view is next move is to this 12,200 area. Phil's looking for a breach of 11.7, and after that, his view is all systems go, and I think we climb up the volume ladder here till we get to this next resistance area, measured move area, all tied in around 17.1, and then after that, then it's assault onto the high. So far so good, and it's a very good weekend for Bitcoin. Let's just whip through Dash. It's not loading up the detail. Here we go. So a buy signal was also given on Dash, still in the downtrend as well, but pretty flat after that little pop off the move. So I'm not trading Dash. And then we have Enigma. We trade that on the hourly because there's not enough, and I'm not sure why it's hanging up on me here. But we have, right now there's no buy on it, still downtrending against a downtrending Bitcoin, so nothing there to really chase. And then flip over to ETC. I think it just did its airdrop, and it's rolling over, and so nothing to buy there, although it's been a very good coin to trade in this range. So if it comes down through this and starts coming back up, might be a nice trader. This is nearly 20% move, by the way, so we'll see where it ends up. It might be a nice day trade or a day or two trade. Ethereum had a crawl along its support line here. It's not doing too much, even though it's on a buy signal. So not interested in Ethereum myself at the moment. Komodo's at the bottom of its channel here, and the channel's tracing up. We got a buy signal on it. It might be interesting to buy, especially if Bitcoin starts to move higher as well. Litecoin is still consolidating, and it's still on its buy signal from way down here at about $100. So a nice double on Litecoin. Not surprised it's consolidating. Triangle breaks that triangle. Next measured move probably from 160 to 220. 220 to 280, and that's exactly where Phil called it. It's top of the channel. I'm playing that as well. I'm long Litecoin. Neocoin is kind of falling out of bed, even though it just gave a buy signal. Not too exciting at the moment on Neo. Stellar had a little bit of a move here. Doesn't look big on the daily, but there's a 20% move here on Stellar. Kind of moved in sympathy with Ripple, and it's starting to give some of it back. And then Monero has been ripping as well. Still on its buy signal from 240, now 360. So nice move on Monero right now. So you're talking basically a $120 move, 50% move here in a week. You could live with that. I caught some of this move, but I hopped off it and I bought Ripple and hopped off that, and I'm fully into Litecoin now. And then you got Ripple itself. I'll zip down on the hourly on Ripple. Okay. And so we get this move here started on over the weekend, and then I caught it to here, and I hopped off, and I didn't take the rest of these moves, and then we got a sell signal here on the hourly. So keep an eye on it. It's all rumor based right now. I can see Ripple coming all the way back down to 91 again, and if it does, I may keep an eye on it, throw some some money back at it to see if I can catch another another move on a rumor. And now moving on to the ETFs today. You know, we had this just a massive short squeeze on SPY. You know, from bottom to top, you don't see the overnight on this thing, but from bottom to top, this thing, you know, went almost 80 SPY points or ES points, and it was just ridiculous. You know, this is what happens. This is what happened in 2008. You get these just crazy moves. They get people all on the wrong side. Now tomorrow, everybody was piling in. Today's Monday. Oh, everything's okay again. And then last 3 weeks, they've been taking it up Friday, Monday, bringing it down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So there's something to keep in mind. This is a nice little shoulder here, a head here. See if it folds out a shoulder here. Here's the downtrend line. It needs to break this to convince me that we're gonna try to make an assault on onto you know, the 3,000 area on SPY that everybody keeps talking about, or 300, but 3,000 on SPX, and I think it has room on the downside yet. So any of these moves look to take opportunities to short, and on the 30-minute is that I rolled down a put. I started at 275, went to 274, went to 268, and I didn't really mess around too much with it today. And I'm looking to get a sell signal here on the hourly, where I'll double up my put position and move it out a week and let it run back down. Because my view is that we're still unfinished business 240, 255 area, and I think we're going to see the 10-year. If you notice, the 10-year moved up with SPY, which is not bullish. Is that I think it was a mechanism to try to fund the move today, but people will move into bonds at this price because it provides them more certainty on a yield than stocks do, and especially if there's bad news in the environment, bonds will strengthen while the stocks fall. And if you have the same earnings yields as you do with the 10-year and the stocks right now, because the stocks are so overvalued, that bonds are a place to be. So right here, what you're seeing here, it came up here, people bid on bonds. Okay, came up here, people bid on bonds. Came up here, people bid on bonds. Okay, now you'll think you've lost control of the stock market if this thing breaks above this level here and starts to really run, because then you have a currency crisis on your hands. Okay, but in the meantime, to me, this looks like very controlled move of people adding into the bond market, and they're going to be getting out of the stock market. Okay, and I think this is going to go down to back to 250, 240 area, and then that brings fair value to the to SPY around anywhere from between 200 and 240. Okay, so that's kind of my math on that, all things being equal, and that'll also strengthen the dollar some, and a little bit of a risk off, and I think that's probably where they'll settle it, and then it's going to have to fight to grow again against, you know, earnings growth or against currency devaluation. Gold didn't do anything today. Silver was down a little bit today, and which makes me suspect, because they really hammered the dollar early on this, and it, you know, had to fight its way, you know, back up from over. This was overnight boom, hitting this thing really hard, and then tried to close it hard again, but actually SPY went down 2 into the close. So, you know, I think they're having a hard time getting the dollar any cheaper than it is, and I think the dollar has moved higher, and I think the dollar is going to continue to move higher. So when that happens, it's going to put pressure on the stock market. But our old friend food keeps moving up, and this makes it harder and harder and harder for them to short the dollar, because if food prices go up, you can't kill your currency, because you're importing ever increasing costs of food. So you don't want to be using a currency that's devaluing to buy something you absolutely have to have, which is going up in price. That was what the 2011 currency Arab Spring crisis was all about. We were devaluing the dollar at the same time we were having a bit of a food crisis in terms of grain production. and it blew up the Middle East, and so you just can't keep devaluating your currency if you have to import food and if you have to import energy. Big problems. So look for this to be a gating factor. Look to the 10-year to be a gating factor too, and look for the price of oil to be a gating factor. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now, and so I have corn. Corn was up again today. I have AG. It was up slightly today. I was a little surprised actually because gold was and silver were down. Okay, and I have UNG, and I'm still convinced UNG is going to rock it. So natural gas is going to go. It just there's just too much need for it right now, and they're going to have to inject sooner than later. And so I'm just keeping things simple right now until I can see what happens with the stock market, to see if they can pop that thing over the downtrend line. Then I think the metals and miners are going to run, and if that thing drops down into the low 200s area, the 250 area, then we're setting up for a move higher in stocks. And I think the dollar is going to go down again, and that'll be the time to buy metals and miners. So I think metals and miners and energy are going to be good plays going into the spring, regardless of what happens, because it's really going to be all about the dollar. The only thing that kills all that is that they lose control of food prices. Then it's kitty bar the door. Dollar's going to keep pumping, and then everything's going to go down. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, thanks for listening, and be back at it tomorrow. And have a great night. Bye-bye.